Honestly, the excitement was last night. Today is, preparation, getting ready for Golden State. But, obviously you could see the emotion about last night in the locker room. It was to win a Game 7 on the road with some challenges, being down 17. It was something to be proud of, and I think everybody showed that.
What's your general thoughts on the matchup versus the Warriors? Obviously, you guys have the season series. You've obviously seen each other in the playoffs, regular season, consistently over the past 3 or 4 years.
Well, hopefully, third time's a charm.
Yeah.
They're obviously they're a great team. They've been a great team. We've had our challenges. It was a little reassuring that we split with them this year, but it's they're good, and we're going to have to be on our game to get a win here, and we obviously have to get at least one here.
Coach Kerr says that any shot is a good shot for Steph, so whenever he hoists up those 30-some-odd footers, he's like, well, okay, it's Steph. At what point did you acquire comfort with Dame shooting over 30?
Probably along the same lines as Steve. It's like you see him go in enough and you see him do it enough that it's like, okay, that's just part of his game.
He said he's worked on it over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen
Damian?
that? Yeah. How have you seen that develop?
Well, I see the end product. I think we've all seen the end product of the work that he's put in. I think his long shots get a lot of recognition. I think he's put a lot of time into his game overall, and he's become a better player every year. He's become an All-Pro and a first-team All-Pro. So the long shots get a lot of recognition because they're a little unusual. But it'd be a shame if that's the only thing people think he's working on.
Have you seen the team grow during this playoff run? I mean, because obviously after a couple sweeps, seeing him play consistently in the playoffs, I'm curious if you've seen any development or anything that, not surprised you, because I know surprised isn't the right word, but.
I think we've shown growth over the course of the season, and obviously last year in the playoff we lived with that all summer, all during the season. We kind of had to just mind our business and go about our business, and I think that's what we did, particularly against Oklahoma City. That was a tough fought series, even though it was 4-1, and obviously coming back from 2-3 in Denver is a different type of series, but I think it probably showed our resolve a little bit more to having won both those series in the way we did.
Spoke with CJ about last night. Obviously, a great night for him last night, but his mid-range jumper, and just how impressed have you been with the way he's been able to create space for himself, looking for a shot, and how important will that be in this round?
I think it's important for offensive players to get to their strengths, whatever their strengths may be. And I know the analytics with three-point shot, and obviously CJ is a great three-point shooter, but I think it's important that offensive players get to their comfort zone and where they feel confident. I think CJ showed that tonight. I mean last night. But this Golden State's a different challenge. I mean, Denver defended differently than Oklahoma City. I'm sure Golden State's going to be different in the way they switch and the different matchups and some of their schemes that they'll have. So as the series goes on, we'll see what we need.
How would you describe Draymond's influence on their success?
I don't know internally. Obviously, that's only something they can answer. From an outside observer, he gives them passion. He gives them a versatile defensive player who can guard multiple players. He's a great help defender. His passing is to be able to be a playmaking 4-man or a playmaking 5-man. Gives them a lot of options that a lot of teams don't have. So, just from an X and O basketball standpoint, just his versatility at both ends is probably the biggest thing.
Do you see anything different from Dame when he comes plays in this building?
Well, yes and no. I mean, obviously a lot's probably made of the fact he's from Oakland and it's his backyard, and he has a lot of people here. So I think that's natural. I don't know if I see anything different, but because I think he kind of he brings it every night. So I would imagine that being in Oakland is special, and he might have a little extra. But the fact that we played them in the playoffs that brings it to another level as well. So I don't know. I think it's a good story. I don't know if it's necessarily true or not. What did he say?
No, I didn't ask him that in
You
particular.
didn't ask him that. You asked me.
Well, from your observational perspective.
All right.
Roddy, the MRI today saying he's questionable for game one. How do you go about replacing what he's doing after having such a great series versus the Nuggets?
To be determined. We'll see how he's feeling tomorrow, if he can play, and if he's averaging 20-some minutes, they'll be redistributed. I mean, we made some personnel choices during the Denver series. We'll have, if that's the case, we'll have to make some other choices.
Coach, you've had different players, role players step up, whether it's Rodney, Seth, ET last night. How important is that going to be moving forward?
In the Denver series, our second unit was invaluable. To me, our bench made the difference in that series, in what they were able to provide in almost every game, individually and collectively. Golden State, we'll see how that works itself out. But one of the things as a coach you're proud of is that when various players contribute to your success. And the Denver series was, I thought, very indicative of that. Going forward, I don't know. We'll see how it works.
Doris asked Damon and CJ both about you in particular and how you kind of provide some freedom for players that are coming into your system, and that's why they've been successful. Where does that come from? Have you always been like that, or have you gotten that from other coaches you've worked with?
I probably got that from George Karl. I've always been a big believer in you have to give players freedom on offense. I mean, they're skilled. Obviously, they work on their game, but I think you have to give them some freedom within a structure. And how much structure you give them, I guess, is the question. But these are great players, and hopefully, what we do, whatever structure we put in, whatever situation we put them in, allows them to be successful. But I don't critique shot selection very much. I never have. I think coaching shot selection in the NBA is really tough because great players make great shots. And I've always been a believer that you can't second guess when you're shooting. You got to believe that you're going to make the shot. Now, it's up to you. If you don't make it, then maybe you don't play as much. But if you got to have the mentality, a shooter's mentality, that you have the freedom and confidence to take shots.
Because when players feel